What's up, gamers? This is my submission for Summer Games Done Quick 2020, and I will be exhibiting Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order any percent. There are 3 categories for this game: any percent no PVC, and 100%. I will be doing the any percent involving PVCs, which stands for pause buffer clipping, which used to be you would pause the game and it would allow you to clip through terrain and geometry and doors at a very specific time, and it was extremely difficult to do, and very few people were actually able to do it until we recently discovered that you can actually do it on PC using Alt Tab to tab out of the game, and it makes the game lag enough to deload an object and you'll clip through it and end up on the other side. It's not used extensively throughout the run, but it does allow us to accomplish our goal of obtaining double jump. We can complete Kashyyyk in one visit. Once we get double jump, since the May 4th update, it unintentionally gave us the ability to fly. So this speedrun was previously much longer than it is now. It was just over 3 hours. The world record is currently 2 hours and 36 minutes for the no PVC category, and for any percent, my personal best is 2 hours 10 minutes and 2 seconds. World record currently is by Evolvente, and it's 2 hours 9 minutes 46 seconds. So categories aside, I will introduce myself. I've been speedrunning this game for 4 months now. I have roughly 500 hours played. I started speedrunning because I really enjoyed playing this game casually, and I went to check out speedrun.com and joined the Discord and ended up getting highly involved in the speedrun community. This is my first speedrun, and I really enjoy running this game. So hopefully I can exhibit that for you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching it. So we're going to start a new journey. We delete all our save files when we do a speedrun because we start with a short health bar and we play on story mode. And the reason why you want to start with a short health bar is because Trilla on Braca, when you engage in the scripted sequence where you fight her, we let her kill us because it's faster than actually like fighting her. Normally, if you get her to 50%, it'll trigger the QTE, or if she kills you, it'll trigger the QTE. So we switch to Jedi Grandmaster, so she'll kill us in 3 hits, triggering the QTE. And if you do not delete your save files, she will kill you in 5 hits. So without further ado, let's begin. I'll try to explain things as I go. I don't want to take too much time in the beginning. Talk about the game and the run because there's a lot to talk about. So time is going to start when we gain control of Cal. And time ends at the final input of the final QTE with Vader when Cal stabs Vader. But we have QTEs disabled. Since May 4th they added the ability to disable QTEs, so it's still the same. When Cal stabs Vader, we end time.
I don't want to upset your rhythm, Cal, but the boss wants a word.
In the beginning here, we're going to be rolling, because you can only walk, and rolling is faster than walking. You gain the ability to run after the slide platform shortly after this beginning sequence. Braca is, first of all, where 90% of resets occur, because you don't want to start off. Braca sucks. You don't want to start out a run with bad Braca. So here we are. Time is going to start. As soon as I gain control of Cal, he's going to say, I'm right behind you. Time starts. We start rolling. I'm going to go here along to the side. Jump up here. And the goal here is to beat Prof to the first platform.
Sorry, Cal. Don't worry about it.
About 20 seconds here. Grabbing that ledge.
Will you look at that? A separatist ship. Haven't seen a Luke or Hulk in ages.
Next split I like to use is reaching the ship cutter's rope at around 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Let's go.
So as I was saying, Baraka is about 80% cutscenes, 5% platforming, and 15% train. There's an invisible wall right there, so I roll, walk, and then roll again. I want to jump off the side here and land on this platform where we can run now.
Easy there.
Just passing through.
Hurry up. We're close to finishing ahead of schedule. I can just about taste the credits. It's gonna be a wild night tonight. Let's get this job done.
Reckless cow.
Good to see you.
Get yourself a kill.
I play with a controller on PC, as you can see, but I also have keyboard inputs shown because I use keyboard to PVC.
Sounds like scrap rats. Creepy. Just passing through, guys. No need to come out and say hi this time.
Hey, Cal. I'll meet you at the clams.
Sounds good. Be there soon.
Here we're gonna jump around this climbing sequence.
How'd you get here?
How'd you get here?
Do our little rope swing that I absolutely hate.
Look, the ship cutter is here.
Cutter at 248.
Hey, we should get moving. Yep, good looking out.
Final balance beam. Rolling up this hill because it's faster.
The manual override lever below.
Got it. Your turn.
Hold on. All right. Clam secured. Whoa. You okay?
Still here.
Give me a fright there, pal.
Done.
Hang on. I got this. Come take a look at this. It's a Jedi fighter. What a score. It's a real scrapper's payday. I mean, this heat's been here, what, 4 years?
5.
Whoever flew this went down in a blaze of glory. Those Jedi. A real tragedy. Yeah, I've always said they couldn't all be traitors.
Yeah, maybe.
Guess it's just our lucky day. Empire's gonna get a lot of good material out of it. Yeah, here we are, scrapping these ships from the war just so they can turn around and make new ones. What a racket, huh? All of us risking our necks for the bosses. And the pay was better back during the Republic, too.
Hey, you really should watch what you say.
Listen to me. Find us free like this, it'll be your ticket off this soggy rock.
What makes you think I want out of here?
Come on, Cal, you're a young guy. You don't end up like me.
There's a very memorable quote that
Eventually, you gotta move on and live your life. Find your
Fixing Callus' head throughout the influences him.
Whatever you say. Hey, we should get back down.
You're not listening to me. What is that?
So here, this first trash pile we actually can't avoid. And we're gonna slide down this thing, avoiding the walls. Trash piles don't slow us down. Prof is going to say 3 lines here, and then I'm going to mash slow.
No, don't let go.
So I can immediately grab him. So from here until I touch the wall, when I see Jarred Paul and I trust only in the Force, about 4 minutes from now, I will hit wall touch around 9:55.
You all right?
Prof should die just over 13 minutes into Braca. And then we will head into the train section, which is the only part of Braca that really matters. And that's why resetting on Braca is extremely painful and frustrating, because generally you mess up on the train and then you have to go back and watch all of these cutscenes again. Please respawn, give us skippable cutscenes in Fallen Order 2, please. Or better yet, add them in a patch to Fallen Order. So Cal's gonna take a little nap here.
You holding up okay?
Good. Yeah, you?
Yeah.
Still have nearly 3 minutes until we touch that wall.
Cal,
Once we touch the wall,
sometime now.
we have another 3 minutes
I've never seen
cutscene.
that before. We've been through some hell together. So, I know the risk.
And then Braca begins.
I don't know how to repay you.
Don't mention it. I mean it.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. This place, it's not safe. Maybe you should, disappear.
Just gotta head back to my place, grab my bag. Tappers owes me a favor.
I heard he was up on Mel Shadow.
Yeah. You won't be seeing me for a while, Prof.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, Cal.
So now we're gonna hold forward and touch, interact with 3 doors.
Prof?
Third door, we're gonna turn around. Gonna walk for a little bit, and then we're gonna interact with the wall.
Prof, wait up. Where are you going?
Interesting fact, if you press this button 66 times, there is an Easter egg. You'll hear Emperor Palpatine say, execute Order 66. Watching my time here. If my prediction was right on the wall touch. And 9:55. Hit the nail on the head.
Apprentice, mark well and listen.
Master.
Trust only in the Force.
So here we are. 3 more minutes of cutscenes. Plenty of times to take AFK breaks in this game.
Yeah, something's going on.
Take care of business. Go for a walk. Get up. Stretch. Get a drink.
Move out and line up.
Probably just another contraband inspection.
As you may have noticed, Al is wearing a black outfit. It's a visual mod.
We seek a dangerous fugitive.
Really aesthetic.
This is no common
I also have
enemy,
a
but a devotee.
dark saber themed lightsaber, as you'll see in a moment.
Failure to turn over this traitor will result in a charge of sedition. Turn yourself in.
And the cutscenes are all rendered
Everyone present shall face
in-game,
summary
so you can still see his outfit, and you'll see some other things later that are kind of funny.
I think it's time someone came forward.
The few glitches you can also do, which I have videos of on my YouTube channel if you want to check them out,
I've been working on this heap a long time,
with cutscenes.
way before the war. We refit and rebuilt ships. Best in the galaxy. Then came the Empire. And engineers became scrappers. The workers, they just started getting worked.
Prof.
We all know the truth. We're just too afraid to say it. To the Empire, we're all just expendable.
Yes, you are.
No!
Look at this.
Lightsaber. Found the Jedi. Here we are, 1310,
I found the Jedi!
heading into the train. So here we're going to use our first glitch called the Sarclarke Jump, which I will refer to as TLJ from here on out.
Hold it. Don't move. How'd you get
Coming up after this short sequence on how to attack and how to block.
Oh, it's you.
Going to use it to skip the
Jedi?
tutorial here.
Blast them.
You can do it with force or
Firing on the enemy.
blocking. It's timing specific. Using force is actually you press force slow a bit later than you would if you use block, but I use slow there because I didn't want to kill those stormtroopers accidentally.
Fire, you coward. Hurry, hit it.
You can land on top of that train car and skip this little crawl space, but
Front. Stop the train.
Kind of a difficult TLJ to make. I usually go for it. If I don't make it, I just go through.
Oh no! Need cover. Now. Faster.
He's here. I'm ready for your trick.
He shot the coupling out. No, no, no! Only way is up.
We're here to help!
Who are you?
No time! Keep moving! We'll pick you up when we can!
We'll win easy. I'm done with this one. The company will not quit.
You can force jump, Sarclarke jump without force. You don't need to have force in order to do it. I'm gonna skip a cutscene here. Normally the ship would shoot and break the train. You can see it still breaks. Here we start. We skipped a Jedi Grandmaster difficulty, so that Trolla can kill us faster. As I said, Jill 3-shot me instead of 5-shot me because we deleted our saves and started with a short health bar.
Going somewhere.
This sequence is scripted. You can't win.
I recognize
Either she kills you and it starts the QTE, or you get her to 50%.
Who's your master, Padawan? Someone I killed, perhaps?
When we had QTEs enabled,
So that you might live.
you don't even have to press the button. So since the QTE normally would split at the end, but now I'm going to split right there when the camera pans, which is where the QTE would normally end. And I'm going to pause the game and go back to story mode, which is very important because Omegana will get one shot if we forget.
Okay, shut that thing off and grab some seat.
Thanks for the help. But who are you people?
My name is Sir Junda, and this is my captain, Grease Dritus.
How you doing? Yeah, the Mantis is my ship, but you better pay attention to this lady here.
So, who are you?
Cal. Kestis. Who was that back there?
An Imperial Inquisitor. She's a Force user hunting Jedi survivors. And now that she knows who you are, she will not stop until she destroys you.
How do you know so much? And why'd you help me?
So, I don't know if I got into much detail, but the Sarclarke Jump, you need a target to perform it.
Made our move.
I think I said you can do it with either block or force powers. You don't need force in order to do it. But it was the first glitch that we found,
I get it.
and it opened the doorway to speedrunning this game.
That it's impossible to trust anyone. And it's what's kept you alive.
It's a very specific timing that you have to use your force power or block. The difference is
Like what?
for a block TLJ,
Like rebuilding the Jedi.
you need to block earlier, and for using your force, you have to use your force later. So it's like
Oh, we're not good.
250 beats per minute metronome
Jedi
is
Council.
the go-to for a block TLJ, and then a 240 for a force TLJ. But basically, like, kind of like the best way of learning it. I found personally that just practicing and getting a feel for the timing worked best for me.
Set a course for Bogano. In the meantime,
I still mess them up though. They can be very
go,
inconsistent.
safe.
It's all about muscle memory,
Now,
even with the amount of time I've played this game. And the height that you can jump with the target lock jump
You gotta move on and live your life.
varies based on your FPS. Higher FPS the better. So like on console, when you're locked to 30 or 60 FPS, it's very difficult to do certain jumps. I'm actually going to menu just to do a specific TLJ on Zepho 1. First one I can do. Second one I can't do on 60 FPS. I'm going to be on 60 FPS because PPC works the best on 60 FPS. You can PPC on 144 FPS, but it's more difficult. Again, the timing is the same, but you have a
that's all.
much tighter window that you need to execute the
Years ago,
alt tab,
touch an object and witness events connected to it. You feel
because
the
there are so many
same.
more frames.
It's an echo in the force from the object.
Not many Jedi have that skill.
How would you know that?
I was once a Jedi, but not anymore.
You may be familiar with
Do I know
pause
you?
buffering from other speedruns.
But I knew your master, Jaro Tapal.
It's used extensively in like the Zelda speedruns, and that's basically what we're going to be doing to in this game. It deloads when you alt tab. You can only do it in full screen mode. When you alt tab, it makes the game lag
My
briefly.
connection to the force is damaged.
So
When I meditate, if I let my guard
the
down,
game lags, and
I lose control.
the
It's like
geometry
I'm back in that moment when
kind of deloads briefly. So it allows Cal to flip through
You're not alone. Not anymore.
objects.
Come up with our destination.
I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but there are currently three categories.
A Jedi I knew discovered
any percent, which I'm running right now, any percent without PBC, and
The Empire doesn't know this place exists.
100%. 100% run is about 8 hours.
Plan.
There's only one person on the leaderboard.
We're done.
Most people run the category without PBC, and I prefer the category with PBC because it saves about 30 minutes. Our previous world record was just over 3 hours before the May 4th patch, when they unintentionally added the ability to fly. And with flying, we're down to the current world record is 2 hours and 36 minutes by Dewclaw.
There's someone here I think you should meet.
The world record for PBC is 2 hours 9 minutes 45 seconds by Evo Vente, and my personal best is 2 hours and 10 minutes and 2 seconds. Hopefully we can beat that today.
Guess I'm looking for a Jedi then. But if there's already one here, why does Seer need me?
So we're going to lock onto an invisible enemy that's below the ground here. We're going to do a Sarclarke Jump to get up here, and you'll see I can also block cancel and essence. Normally, like, you can skip that animation. He would sit there and like absorb it. There's a invisible ledge here that we're going to grab onto. Get across that gap. And we have to meditate here. So normally you go to the left, right? You meditate and you would get BD, right? So if you don't meditate before you get BD, which we're going to do right now, the game hard locks. We jump over the balance beams because it's faster. And here's Speedy. So we're gonna TLJ again. Up here, and we're gonna go ahead and get stims. Which all of this sequence unlocks BD1 for us.
Yeah, I'm alright.
So if you don't meditate before you get BD, when you try to meditate, the game will hard lock. You'll be stuck in a meditation screen. There will be no buttons to interact. You can't pause the game. You can't do anything. You have to alt F4 basically.
Better. Thanks, little droid. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, okay. Here, hop on board. So, how'd you get here? Don't remember? I've never known a forgetful droid. Can't argue with that. That's a really big bug.
Now we're going to take a very specific route in order to unlock wall run and then go to the temple.
I sense something over here. See something in there?
Something interesting is this well-run vision is actually above Bogano, so there's a death plane there that you can actually PBC through. I'm not going to do it because it's very difficult. You have to land in a specific place. And I can't do it with Alt Tab because you need to hold a certain direction in order to land on an invisible platform below the far ledge.
learning old tricks. Think you can show me that shortcut again?
This is a rather high TLJ here.
Run for it!
So we need to scan him. We want to leave Bogano with 2 skill points, which is why we picked up that Force Echo, because it gives a ton of XP, and then killing that frog and scanning him gives us the other skill point that we need to learn overhead slash and dash strike, which we only need 3 skills to beat the game. Overhead slash, dash strike, and improved dash, which we will get on Zepho.
Racy there? Oh, it's on. We're not finished yet. Okay, you probably would have won.
So rolling up hills is faster. As it is faster than running as well.
Amazing. Got a scan? You all right, BD?
Well done, whoever you are. You have passed the test I left behind and gained access to the vault and this recording, one of many encrypted logs stored in the droid. I am Master Eno Cordova. I may not know your name, but I know your purpose. The fate of the Jedi Order lies in your hands. This place, this vault, is a sacred temple, built by a vanished civilization known as the Zepho. Meditating here, I was granted a premonition through the Force, a vision of doom. I have placed inside this vault a Jedi holocron, containing a list of the names and locations of
So we don't learn any skills on Bogano. We're going to learn them on the ship on the way to Zepho, because if you don't learn any skills, it allows you to skip the cutscene that when you would normally play when you leave Bogano for some reason.
And learn to perceive the mysteries of the Force as the Zepho once did. In this droid, you will find everything you need to succeed on this journey.
The reason we only need 3 abilities, otherwise we wouldn't really need any abilities, is it dash strike and most importantly improved dash gives us our ability to move quickly through the game, and you'll see it used extensively along with animation canceling and dashes together.
I guess you were the someone I was supposed to meet. You know, I've been alone for a while now. Without any purpose, just hiding. There's no way to live. Not for a Jedi. Or a droid. Maybe Seer was right. Maybe we're done hiding. Hey. You want to meet some, friends of mine?
So when you see me tab in and out of the game, it'll lag. You'll see it on the recording. Also, loading triggers.
Sounds like you did.
anytime you hit a loading trigger, there's lag. That's how we know when zones are loading. Our little buddy got a little close there. Normally doesn't block me off like that. There was a loading trigger right there. And here we're going to unlock Dathomir, which many new players, including myself, make the mistake of going to Dathomir first. Bad idea. Don't go there.
My friend, it appears the Zepho had some interest.
Can go there and unlock double-bladed lightsaber, which is helpful.
For such a peaceful culture to have any sort of
But the enemies are very strong
so dark.
on Dathomir. I'm 1720.
Don't fall behind.
Loading trigger right there.
A lot quicker than the way in.
See me using fast climbing here, where I hold the spam jump and grab. So now we're done with Vegano.
BD1, over here.
And we split when we enter the Mantis.
Where to?
Now we go to Zepho. And we're going to learn skills now. You can actually use the terrarium as well, which we're going to use to skip conversations, because some conversations are longer than others. It saves time by skipping them, because you have to wait for the conversation to complete before being able to actually sit down in your chair, grab some seat. It's a relatively short convo, so it's already ready. So this is where you'll see us use our PBCs for the first time. We're going to take a direct route to the temple on Zepho. Going to unlock push, and then we're going to leave Zepho. We are also going to unlock Kashyyyk, and we're going to go straight to Kashyyyk. Normally you would do Kashyyyk in 2 visits. We're going to do it in 1. You have to go back to... Normally you would like free the Wookiees and then go back to Zepho 2. Find the other temple, get Pull, get Howard's zipline. And so we don't do Zepho 2 in any percent. So on Kashyyyk, if you progress too far, to prevent a casual player from like hard locking their game, they added a teleportation barrier, which as soon as we figured out that we had the ability to fly, obviously we wanted to go straight to get double jump, because that's what gives you the ability to fly. And we discovered that there is a barrier. Cannot proceed, and the only way currently is to use PT. Going to go into the tools menu, enable camera mode, and also I'm gonna kill this Skaz, scan it, for XP.
Nice job.
Get our
Don't fall behind
kill
me,
point here. And go into photo mode. And we're going to PVC. Photo mode somehow affects the game that allows us to clip through the object.
Let's go, BD1.
A little scary there. We don't use short dash because you end up losing. It's more difficult to chain short dash without the ability to block cancel, which they removed in the May 4th update. They adjusted block somehow. This TLJ is nice. I got it on 60 FPS. Yeah, sometimes I don't get that one. With PVC, Zepho can be a little stressful because you're already far into the game, 42 minutes in. See, there's the animation that you would get if you didn't
What is this?
block cancel that.
Continue excavating. I want rare
So we're gonna come in through the other side of this door that you would normally push. Push your controller here.
Storm up ahead.
That is a falling dash strike.
I can feel something pulling me there. Beyond the storm.
Follow it. Let the force sharpen your instinct.
All right. I'll do my best.
And I'm going to set my FPS to 144 because it's a very high target lock jump and I cannot do it on 60.
We just opened the way for the Empire.
I'm going to jump straight into the elevator and I'm going to have to switch my FPS back to 60.
I believe this to be the earliest Zepho site we've uncovered yet, despite my reservations. I cannot chase the Bogano fault from my mind. Its visions shape the direction of an entire culture. I must understand why.
Make sure I go camera mode just one more time just to be safe. I like to kind of do it at times just I feel it helps. You only technically need to do it once. We're going to PVC right here through the elevator. Normally you would go around.
And the Empire?
No sign of them down here.
What about Cordova?
Still not sure what I'm supposed to find. He's a little...
Eccentric? Tell me about it. But he wouldn't send us here for the Keep an open mind.
And also PVC through that door right there, but I'm not going to because it can save time or... So we're going to go around. And there is another way that the other runners do this door clip to get early push here, but I'm going to PVC through the door. Find the other way is a little bit inconsistent and it can be... you can lose a lot of time. Or you can save time. Saves about a minute, basically, going this way. Otherwise, you would be going around, all the way around. But yeah, we did find a way to or because we need to do a launch and it requires high frame rate. It doesn't really work too well on low FPS. We're going to skip the entire tomb puzzle as well, and we're going to launch ourselves straight back into the elevator. As I was saying, yeah, there's a way to without PVC go around and through that wall to get to push.
Now, try again. Good. Continue. Faster now. Complete the test.
What stands in the way comes the way.
My friend, take a look at the detail on this bark. The distinctive striations. It can only be a Rosia tree from Kashyyyk. It's time to call on an old friend.
We should gain the ability to fly about an hour and 20 or so minutes into the run. So Kashyyyk is unlocked now.
Holding up okay? Good to hear.
Going to use this corner to launch ourselves back up into the elevator. It is a very specific spot you need to be in order to do it, and a very specific timing. Go.
What did you find?
The Zephyr went to Kashyyyk. Cordova mentioned someone named Tarful.
A Wookiee chieftain. They were old friends.
Think he's still around?
There's only one way to find out.
So basically what we're doing is we're dashing into that corner. You can only do it on grabbable ledges. And dash strike and jump. And basically, like, for some reason when Cal goes to grab the ledge, the game bugs out and calculating his position and ends up launching him really high into the air. Going to go ahead and set my up 60 here. Camera mode again. I'm gonna sit here and meditate and grab improved deck. So if you played this game casually, you know, this rope swing coming up likes to do its own thing, likes to swing in the breeze, and very annoying. The key to the rope is jumping late on these platforms for the wall run.
big site. We got a lot further than we thought.
Stormtroopers in this game never miss.
The Empire's identified you as the Jedi from Bracca. They're searching for the Mantis as we speak.
Can't you move the Mantis?
It's too risky to start the engine. Its power discharge will draw their attention immediately.
I'll be back as fast as I can. Don't fall behind, B1.
Cal, we've got a walker firing on us, and our weapons are down.
Is that him? Tell him he better get his butt.
Hold on, I'm on my way.
So now I'm going to execute a trick that I've actually just found like 2 days ago, using this box to PVC into the Mantis and skip the cutscene where we leave. Normally play when we leave. Are on 60, double check. That's really good. That is an extremely difficult hard PVC.
Planet next.
Cheek. Very hard. Oh, and I got to split. Okay though. We got the art % conversation. This is a short one. It's a good thing.
When do you care about art?
I've always liked it. When I was younger, I used to pour through every piece I could find at the Jedi archives.
Did you critique them too?
I admired them. When I became a seeker, I got to see a few in person. So many different cultures in the galaxy, and each one had their own unique works of art. It was breathtaking.
Time to land. Get up here.
Tell me we're not running that blockade.
Oh, only as a last resort. I've rigged the Mantis' transponder to transmit Imperial signals. Hey, Grease.
Yeah.
Keep your power signature low and act like we belong.
Just like Bracca. No sweat.
Oh, freeze, grease, work is magic.
Just please keep your eye on the scanner.
All right.
Please.
All right.
All right.
I don't see anything.
You're preoccupied with something on the ground. We're clear.
So that PVC that I just did to get onto the Mantis, that skips a 2.5 minute
The
cutscene.
Empire is devouring Kashyyyk for its natural resources.
Obviously, it made my Zepho about a minute longer. That was extremely quick because I got it with like first try. But usually it takes a minute to get that PVC. It's between
Wookiees and off-worlders ambushing an Imperial convoy.
Walkers approaching their position.
doing
Tarkin could be with them.
getting the box into the proper position and actually executing the PVC, like as I said, is extremely difficult. Clip through that wall,
The other options. And
timing wise.
got our help.
So what's your plan?
So
Sabotage. We used to scrap walkers on Bracca. I'll just jack one.
Get a load of the kid. He thinks we're back in the Clone Wars.
Captain, get us near those walkers.
Wait, what?
Listen, those walkers double as troop transport, so once you get inside, be careful.
No freeze grease to work his magic.
Hey,
I set my FPS back to 144 here because we have
do me a favor.
a little
Stay
bit
alive down
before we need to actually PBC here.
That's the plan.
We're going to utilize save quitting to save time and skip certain cutscenes in the game. You can't do it for many, but I'm going to do it right here. As soon as you see the loading symbol, and quit out, and then continue, and it'll skip like save a tiny little bit of time there.
You ready to do this? That was close. Maybe
Here
we
we're
can try
approaching
again.
another climbing sequence, which it's kind of annoying to get on this leg sometimes.
Okay.
Utilizing fast climb there. Get across that entire vine sequence. Now we're gonna come across, and there's actually a stumble animation here that we can skip. And I got it. Nice. Very nice. So in a non-PBC run, Kashyyyk 1, like I said before, you would normally free the Wookiees, but we skip all that utilizing out of bounds. Pretty crazy out of bounds clipping that you would normally use to do K1 in a non-PBC run, but since we are using PBC to get to areas that we're not supposed to, we're not going to be exhibiting that skip. So interesting to note that you actually, this is the only thing you have to kill, this AT-AT here. And the rest, you can just walk straight to the end. The ATST up here has no collision, the bridges have just break when you walk through them. You do, however, once we reach the final landing pad, we're going to have to blow it up and kill the ship.
Who are you?
Someone making the Empire angry. We're advancing on an imp landing pad up ahead. I wouldn't mind fire support.
Copy that. Let's make them even angrier.
So at some point we discovered that you only have to kill the first wave of stormtroopers on the left.
Took out the bridge. There's the landing.
So now it's the beginning of a cutscene where you would normally have enough time to go use the restroom or, you know, do whatever you choose. There's, I mean, a lot of cutscenes that you have the time to do that, as you've seen, but this is pretty much the one. About an hour into the run, get up and take a break.
Yeah, I'm okay. You alright?
About a 2.5 minute cutscene, I believe.
You just wrecked a perfectly good walker. Got a name?
Cal Kestis,
Saw Gerrera. What are you doing on Kashyyyk?
looking for somebody. What are you doing here?
My companions and I came to Kashyyyk to disrupt Imperial supply lines.
Hey!
So, who are you looking for?
A Wookiee chieftain named Tarful.
Tarful is impossible to find. There's a reason he's evaded the Empire for this long.
He's a freedom fighter?
The freedom fighter.
A symbol of the Wookiee resistance, striking at the Empire from the Shadowlands.
Seer? Grease? This is Saul.
How you doing?
What do you want with Tarful?
Jedi business.
Jedi are dead.
Not all of them.
Did you get that off a corpse?
Get that off a corpse?
Master gave it to me.
This pad supports an Imperial refinery that runs on Wookiee slave labor. Intel suggests that some of the captives there are guerrilla fighters.
I should help them. One of them might know how to contact Tarful.
It's possible.
Whoa, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. The Mantis works wonders. I mean, it's a great ship, excellent pilot, but it is not built for close support.
We'll stay here and monitor Imperial transmissions. With a bit of luck, we'll intercept any distress calls.
Appreciate it. My lieutenants and I will scout ahead to prepare the attack. Join us when you're ready. Go, go.
Come here, BD1.
So here we are chain dashing. So like you want to basically press dash strike. Whereas it didn't cut those. As soon as Cal's feet touch the ground, also falling dash is as soon as you fall off the ledge, you hit dash strike.
Can you conduct? Well, with this transformer, I bet you can short-circuit Imperial tech.
So we get overcharge. Come here and activate the spider. Use him to jump back up here. This is actually the only thing that we need overcharge for, technically, in the game. There is another overcharge that we would use after the Purge Trooper, you'll see. But there's a way of skipping it. It's obvious, it's a little bit slower than fighting him, so we just overcharge, kill him and use overcharge.
Refinery lies dead ahead.
Disable the laser field.
Tree sap.
Nothing good. They refine the sap into a powerful compound
We haven't found a
to expand production.
good way to skip this cutscene, reliable way, unfortunately.
We have to stop them.
You have to watch it.
I don't know their end game, but they spread themselves too thin. This map we recovered proves it.
Here you go, bud.
These refineries double as brutal prison camps. We use those cutters to create a distraction, while you take your lightsaber and free the Wookiees inside. We need their help to stop the Empire.
Understood.
Watch yourself in there.
You hear that? Said he needs my help. Come on, buddy.
I don't like to jump on this balance beam, one of the very few, because There's a little thing you can bonk your head on and fall.
Over there. Can you slice this? Sorry about your scompling. But standing up to that bog rat?
Oh, the thing for TLJ is you have to stand perfectly still. You cannot move. Yeah. What happened there? What are they doing? The one guy killed the. I think that he killed the guy I was targeting or something. We're gonna do a little tricky. Fortunately, we have to fight these stormtroopers in order to execute the next trick, and hopefully without killing him. Nice. Beautiful. He likes to knock you off though sometimes. Fortunately, worked out okay there. Doing it this way allows us to skip a few PBCs. So what we're gonna do is TLJ up here, unlock the shortcut door, because the other way you would go all the way around and PBC through a couple doors there. But this is much faster. Oh god. That's what I meant to do. Let's pretend that never happened. What?
Saw's up ahead. We must be close.
Stormtroopers never miss, mind you. Not even their melee attacks. We go ahead and go back to 60 FPS. Camera mode, just in case. And we're going to PBC through this door here because it's blocked from the outside. And hopefully we won't get aggro on the stormtrooper that is on the other side of this door. Out of force, so we're gonna push him off, and now we're gonna fight our bridge trooper. So we disabled our laser field.
Mari, are you there? I'm almost to the Shadowlands, at the wreck of a walker.
I can't keep track of him.
My health is super low. Tikal also likes to dash at any enemy that's nearby. I'm gonna have to actually use a stim. Okay, so here is the teleportation barrier is right there. So we're gonna have to go around it. And 60 FPS. Got it. First try. That's very make our way through the roots and up this hill area, and then we're gonna kind of dash strike and flip our way around to want to make sure I don't. There is a loading trigger here that will make you fall. And we're going to PVC back inbounds, and that is the final PVC of the game. Stable camera mode, and what the dual film rate. Take that off. And the loading trigger is right there. As you saw, it was lagged.
Something smells. What is that? Hey, this whole forest is alive.
We fell in there. There's a way to land on the side there and skip this climbing sequence, but okay. Kind of annoying one. You can jump or do a falling dash.
Ever seen a place like this before? Me neither.
So since we don't have pull, in order to get to Tarful, we have to do some shenanigans here. I'm going to use a spider to TLJ up here to this bouncer, and then we have to line ourselves up perfectly with this rope. And we're going to dash strike onto the rope. And then so we have our loading symbol here, and we're going to quit out and skip that cutscene. When we load back in, we'll have the underwater breather. Loading trigger right there, as you probably saw it lag. Fast climb up here.
Watch my back. Tarful could keep them out forever. They won't stop until everyone's wiped out.
That's a little trick to save some time there.
Do you think the Empire would have come after Kashyyyk so hard if we hadn't intervened? The Jedi are supposed to be symbols of hope, but I led the Inquisition here. Mari and Tarful put their trust in me. Did I just endanger them again?
We found the Jedi. Keep focused. Here, inform the Inquisitor. Step up.
We're going to do another cutscene skip here. Dash straight onto the slide.
Hang on!
Save a little bit of time there, jumping across and avoiding the climbing sequence.
Night Sister.
jump and conserve our momentum there.
Better find out on her.
Loading trigger there. Heal J up onto this bouncer.
We don't know if it's friendly. That's the thing that took down the Night Sister.
And we're at 1 hour and 17 minutes and heading into the flying sequence. This is where things get interesting.
Just keep failing, Master.
Do you? Good. Keep failing.
So we're
Keep back up.
at
That is the only way to succeed.
just under an hour until we finish the game at this point.
Ego and pretense. Let go of what you fear to lose and rise up. Now, again. Good. Now reach my position. You can do it.
Just gotta keep getting back up, ED. As long as we get back up, we're still in this fight. I'm finally back to where I was before the purge, before Master T'Pol died.
So we alternate between jumping and using force slow, and for some reason, I mean, it only works with, we just hit a loading trigger right there, so we're gonna go ahead. Fly up to the top of the tree here. When you grab, for some reason you can slow ropes. So that's what you're seeing. Using a force power like cancels. Ropes are annoying. I don't know why we can fly, honestly. It's just a thing once you get double jump. Even though the bird isn't here, it's still, cutscene still triggers, so we're gonna save, put that one out. Skip that. And then we're gonna go up and the bird is gonna take us to the top of the tree where we will fight the Ninth Sister.
still so much the Empire hasn't touched.
So normally here, the game would give you double-bladed lightsaber at this workbench because we didn't get it Dathomir, but we're gonna go ahead and fly past that. While here we have to fly. And there's also a little Cordova cutscene that we're going to skip as well. And you can see the objective update. You can also skip that. And then we'll fight the Ninth Sister. Try and focus here and out. Triggering any QTEs. This one's unskippable, not bad for trash. What about for a Jedi?
Not bad for trash.
What about for a Jedi?
Is there a difference?
The rest of them you can skip. Ah, I hit it. If she deflects you, you hit the QT. Or if you block her as well. I'm kind of gonna... Nice, she did that attack, so it gives me more of an opportunity to DPS her down. And when she jumps back like that, you can't hit her. Use the red attack there. So now she's dead. And you used to actually be able to fail this QTE and she would kill you. Which I found out in a speedrun, and you can skip the once that loading symbol pops up, you can skip the rest of that. I didn't mash RB fast enough and she just one-shot me. So now this is going to place me back to the bottom of the origin tree. And I'm going to exhibit the teleportation barrier, which I'm going to use my advantage to teleport me back here to this elevator. And now we're headed to Dathomir. There's a neat little trick here that I discovered, that this elevator, not sure why it does this, but it'll go inside of it. It's always loaded. Kind of annoying to actually got it. So we're gonna press this button twice.
I've been monitoring Imperial communications and I picked up something.
And it's going to take us back to the landing pad.
The Empire may be close to finding another Zepho tomb.
Looks like we still have work to do. Think Saw and the others will be okay?
Now we're gonna skip another cutscene here, which you can we could do this before we could fly.
For everything.
Because there was a little splitting right there. Little thing that allowed you to climb onto the mantis
Guess we could go to Dathomir.
and hop into that same area.
Setting course for Wait a minute. You want to go
Go through that wall. This Dathomir combo is long, so we're gonna go ahead and use the terrarium to skip it.
Agrees.
Basically, it interrupts their conversation,
Never seen a terrarium before?
Sure, but
allowing us to load directly in.
Well, I've been a bit busy hauling you around the galaxy. But you know, you could pay me back with some seeds.
I thought you hated nature.
When it's out there, you betcha. But when it's behind a comfortably thick wall of embarring glass, that's perfection.
All right, I'll see if I can.
All right, kid, sit down. Ship. Doors.
Not sure what happened there. There you can see Cal. Now we're gonna want to fly over this cutscene trigger here.
I got it. He's withdrawing.
We're Night Brothers.
And there's also another cutscene here with Terran Malicos that we're gonna fly over. All these were skippable. Well, the Marin one wasn't skippable, but the old man cutscene you could skip.
I hear you. Fight me, you coward.
Hey, BD, let's go. Whatever that was, it's gone.
Now we're gonna head into Order 66, which is extremely broken. I use this meditation pad as a point of reference to load straight into the final area. But there is a Dathomir loading trigger here, so it's extremely dangerous. You'll load into the Dathomir swamps, which is very bad. that was actually a little scary.
Jedi Council signal. Remember, trust only in the Force.
Yes, Master.
Just only in the Force. So if you hit that Dathomir loading trigger, you can glitch out of Order 66 as young Cal. But you can actually progress the game without breaking your lightsaber. Unfortunately, you have to do Ilum, and we have not discovered a way around it.
Your will is weak. You lack discipline. Frail as always. You let fear break your connection to the Force. Yes. My blood is on your hands, apprentice. You are a failure, a weakling, a traitor. You are no Jedi! No!
And as you saw in Order 66 with extensive out of bounds, we're going to do the same thing on Ilum. It's extremely broken. And so Terran Malicos would normally play a cutscene right there. We went out that door. Can't really see where I am right now. So there's a hole here. We used to get out and skip the Terran Malicos cutscene. Very, very long cutscene.
I see movement. Quick, but not impressive. This? An adversary.
Keep on him.
Got my split key, and I'm running the wrong way. So now we're gonna go to Ilum. We skipped a cutscene there as well.
Isn't there a gigantic crash ship on...
This Cordova guy is really putting some wear and tear on my ship.
You always wanted to explore the whole
So we're skipping that cutscene, and Ilum is still here on the map, so we're able to.
tombs and temples related to the Zepho and
How many?
But I hit a limit. To him, it wasn't.
I believe I can skip the rest of the convos in the game.
This terrarium would look better with some plants.
Sit down, kid. It's time to land.
And normally a cutscene would also play here, but it doesn't. I'm gonna go ahead and trigger this little objective thing here and use the wind to propel me backwards while flying.
It's been a while,
We're gonna climb up here,
but I remember.
go
every
to
Jedi
the
was
right,
hid. Or they did, when there were Jedi.
this right here becomes unsolid. And all this black is the temple. And the crystal caves as well. And so what our goal is here is we're going to load directly into the crystal room. There are a few loading triggers here. You'll see med pads, and you'll see a floating platform off to our right. Once we clear it, yeah, there it is. So like we can load in, basically that black platform is the floor of the droid room. We can load in there. And this final meditation circle all the way the back is the one just behind the crystal room. We're gonna fly high to avoid any accidental loads. Then we're gonna drop down. And load directly into the crystal room at the workbench. And unfortunately, you can't just choose your lightsaber color. You can't just sit there and like spam A. You have to like scroll through, like there's a cooldown on it for some reason. Got a little confused there because I have my blue lightsaber replaced with white, so I was trying to find the correct one. Also, I didn't mention this, but when you skip all of Dathomir, as you can see, Cal has the climbing claws. The game gives you the climbing claws. You don't have to actually do any of Dathomir. As you saw, it was extremely short. Now we're gonna fly out here through the ceiling. And we're going to load in just around the Jedi Temple, around the ice wall. And watch the ice wall melt. There is another, as I said, there's a bunch of loading triggers here. So if you fly too low in here, you risk hitting the loading trigger for the water area. Normally swim through to get to the crystal caves, and you can get stuck in ceiling. Not good. The loading trigger for the Jedi Temple should be coming up here. Unfortunately, we have to watch this melt. There's another loading trigger. And I hopefully dodge all these shots here.
They've broken through and called reinforcements. Every Star Destroyer in the sector is on their way.
We're gonna fly to the right here, and we're gonna avoid loading in the
You didn't come home before you
ATSCs.
get captured. I'll be there.
Back to Dathomir 2.
You holding up over there, Captain?
Me? Oh, yeah, fine. Just a little tight.
Sometimes the journey is dangerous.
I have no idea how long this convo is. We're gonna go ahead and skip it anyway.
Find seats for Grease.
All right, we're here. Get in your chair. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
He's running away.
Unfortunate.
We must take it.
I hear you.
You cannot defeat our might.
It can shoot through. Oh, I have to that door is not openable, so we're gonna have to go ahead and fly over this. Now there is another cutscene that we're gonna skip here, involving Marin, that is quite long, quite annoying. We're also going to skip the Terran Malicos fight entirely. His long cutscene. So we're gonna land just inside this crawl space here, and it's going to load. Final area.
Buddy, over here.
I'm gonna go around Malicos. We're going to go straight to the Astrium. And there is a unskippable cutscene here, and worth noting that Marin has no hair.
This could be the key to the
No
next
idea why,
generation of Jedi.
but she does not have hair.
I'm happy for you. And your Jedi.
Skipping cutscenes breaks the game, ladies
But
and
nothing
gentlemen.
can bring back my people.
Probably why you can't skip the cutscenes, since they're rendered in real time.
After the purge.
skipping that K2 cutscene actually completely breaks the game, and we won't actually be able to. I'll show you guys after time. Baron's gonna come down and normally save us, and we go back to the Mantis, and credits would roll, and none of that happens. The game hard locks because we skipped that cutscene. Don't know why it's that specific cutscene, but once we found out how to skip it, we realized that it breaks the game.
A path forward. I will join
And I believe skipping the cutscene coming into this area before Malakos is that Marin has no hair for whatever reason.
I'm finished waiting. I wish to fight by your side. Night Sisters and Jedi do not travel together, but survivors. We adapt.
And when we get back to the Mantis, she's going to be wearing her hoodie.
Yeah, I guess we do. What do you think, BD? I agree.
As you can see, we're standing on floating in the air on nothing, so I'm gonna let there's a death plane immediately below us.
Then we'll convince them.
I'm gonna fall and it'll respawn me front, but I'm gonna be facing the wrong direction.
Let's go, BD.
You can see Terran Malakos standing there. If you run into his cutscene trigger, it'll still trigger the cutscene and the fight, but you can't kill him. He's invincible. So we're going out skylight here. That square box that you see, it's kind of like copy pasted into the game, and it's only active after you, which is why I said you cannot complete the game without breaking your lightsaber. It's only active after completing Ilum. You can't load that in.
Found it.
Oh, well, who's this?
Can't skip this cutscene. And here's Marin with no hair. But when she actually grabs some seat, she will be back in her Night Sister robes.
I trust her.
And we trust you. You will have to earn it.
Okay, fine. Grab some seat. Didn't try anything funny.
Welcome aboard.
They like you.
Now we're on our way to Bogano 2. And then Nur. Don't know what you're saying.
So next, maybe
The only place supposed to go. This whole journey, the absolute longest combo in the game. It's about a minute-long conversation. Super unlucky.
Get some seeds in here.
I should have one more combo skip for Nur. So, should be fine. That's really unlucky.
Get over here, kid. We're about to land.
Conversations are random.
Think it'll work?
It worked for Cordova.
You can make it work.
Good Vic, there she is in her nice sister outfit.
Hungry? I was thinking of whipping up some scaz steaks. I'm sorry, am I interrupting?
No, Captain. And we couldn't have gotten this far without you.
Oh, well,
It's true, Grease.
thank you. Hey, I hope you get in there and you find that hollow thing.
Holocron.
Are you sure it's something you should find?
What do you mean?
The children on that list. If you take them from their homes to train as Jedi, won't they be hunted like you?
It has to be kept out of the hands of the Empire.
It'll help us put an end to the Empire.
Oh, hey, change of plans. We're arriving.
Oh, Grease.
I take my steak rare.
Yeah?
I take my steak rare.
Huh? Okay, now we're cooking.
Let's head out.
I got in combat. It's unfortunate.
That's where we need to go. I can feel it.
I was flying a little bit extra to avoid getting in combat, but
Something weird. It's gonna sound strange, but it's the astral. The closer we get to the vault, the stronger it feels.
this is where we really start to zoom because we're coming down to the wire here. Very important that I don't miss any dash strikes or movement. I've already missed a lot of those. Trying to focus on commentary and doing the run at the same time. Dash strikes are very difficult to time the animation canceling since they broke the block canceling that we used to use to
We're close.
cancel our dashes. So you have to do another dash as soon as Cal's feet hit the ground. Very small window. And if you're dashing like up a hill or down a hill, it throws his timing off, makes it more difficult. So we're gonna fly to the top of this climbable wall here that you would normally watch all these visions, and then climb this wall.
Capture the younglings. Kill the rest. They're fast. Keep firing.
All right.
Surrender now, and we may spare the youngest. That's right. On your knees.
Now we're going to become Inquisitor Cal. And we're going to fly out as Inquisitor Cal. Got a little bit of a launch there. So since I didn't get powered zipline, I can't fly. I can't take the zipline. I have to fly across this gap. You saw there was a loading trigger. Clearly visible where the rest of the area loaded in. Oh, see, look at that little Neo bug, dude.
Any ideas? We get across this gap somehow. Seer. I saw what happened.
744 Bugano 2. It's
I'm so sorry.
I think that's new gold for me. Like I have individual levels that I run, and my best is at 750.
She has a holocron.
You good?
I don't know where she's taking it.
You can't skip this cutscene, but after this cutscene, it will unlock Nur,
Our mistakes
and then
are in the past.
we can skip the
It's
next
all of our
cutscene
responsibility.
after
It's
that.
what we do next that's important. You taught me that, Seer.
We're gonna save quit, and it's going to put us directly in the water on Nur. And just like Ilum in Order 66, Nur is completely broken. You'll see.
Where they take Jedi, where the Inquisitors come from. It's a place of torture. It's the place I escaped. I just never thought I'd be going back there.
You won't be going alone. You'll have a friend with you.
No.
I'll have a Jedi.
I'll have a Jedi with me. Kneel. By the right of the Council, by the will of the Force, Cal Kestis. Rise, Jedi Knight.
2 hours and 5 minutes is definitely possible with this current route in any percent. This wasn't my greatest run. It'll be a new PB, but you know, I'm satisfied for a me doing commentary the entire time. I normally focus much harder when I'm doing an actual run.
Cal, got a second?
Made a few mistakes, but not a big deal. We've discovered some new tech since my last run, my 2 hour 10 minute 2 seconds. So that's why I'm going to be beating my time by quite a bit. This conversation is actually pretty short. Mid-30s. I should have a skip for it though.
It's pretty dead in there.
Yep. Beautiful. So let's hope for a mid 740s on Nur here. My gold for Nur, despite the fact that it says 749, that wasn't during an actual run. They 741. that just comes down to missing a dash strike, basically. Animation cancel. Perfect loading trigger, which we're going to try and execute. Been practicing individual levels a lot, so especially with some of these very difficult loading triggers. My PVCs on Zepho were bad. I could have done a lot better with those, but PVCs are difficult, so it's okay. So here we are. Gonna come up here, grab this. We're gonna look at the wall so that we don't lose any force on the stormtroopers by accidentally slowing them. And I'm going to take this time to focus. Not do that, but alright. So we're going to see a floating platform wall here. And that is the loading trigger for the prison. Come to the right here because there is a wall with collision there that we have to go around.
Getting close.
Now Trilla, we don't actually have to fight, so we're just gonna fly into her room and skip her entirely.
Let's get out of here.
205.34 we hit there at 6:45, so this should be 7:44, 7:45 NER, and 206.40 mid-40s for time.
I think we lost him. I'll make it. Seer, I won't fail you.
Kid, you read me? They're not responding.
They will. I am certain of it.
Breeze, I'm here. Heading towards the surface. Be ready. Have the holocron.
Getting ready to split here.
Just get out of there, Cal.
Invaders. Cal stabs Vader. Here we come. And time. 6:36. I think I wasn't paying attention to when I actually entered the elevator there, but 7:43 NER. 2 seconds off my gold for NER, which is pretty awesome, which comes down to those missed dash cancels and movement errors. But overall, that was a really good NER and a solid run. See, my sum of best is at 204.34.
Such hatred.
Definitely sub 205 possible.
She's stronger than that.
And that'll put me at first place in the any percent category until Evolvente beats me again, because he is just an amazing player. We have a lot of amazing runners in the JFO speedrunning community. It's very active. You know, the game is relatively new still, and we're still finding out glitches and secrets every day to optimize our route. So I'll let this run here. We're gonna see the glitch that occurs when you don't watch the Kashyyyk 2 cutscene. Marin comes save us. And we fall. Okay, so here's Vader. And the mantis is actually down there. Vader, like, if you fall to your death, it'll respawn you at the end of the hallway where we came from. There's a turbo lift. And Vader will be invisible, and you can't, he has collision, you can't kill him. And, take a journey down to the mantis here as well. Whoops. Why is the mantis here? No idea. It's fully, collision. There's some coral reefs here. You can do whatever you want, you know, meditate, customize your lightsaber, and you can travel to other planets. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys very much for giving me the opportunity to submit a run for Unquick. It's an honor to have the privilege to. So, hope everyone's staying safe. Thanks to the whole Fallen Order speedrunning community to make all of this possible. Thank you very much for your consideration.